Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Keep learning. I hope you all guys are doing well. If you are new at my channel, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for latest updates. In this video, I will going to explain you about network theorem, the 5 important topic of network theorem. This video is going to be very important for BSc Physics Honours student. Network theorem in short. First of all, I will explain you about Thevenin's theorem, its full concept only in 5 steps. Then we discuss about maximum power transfer theorem. After that, I will explain you Norton theorem by taking a question, and then I will explain you superposition principle, and the last one, that is ideal and practical current and voltage source. Let's start with the first one, that is Thevenin's theorem. Understand the Thevenin's theorem. Find the current O in 8 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. We should take a circuit in which there is 20 volt, 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 4 ohm, 8 ohm, 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 4 volt and 8 ohm. We should remove the resistance of 8 ohm from the circuit. The first step of the Thevenin's theorem is to remove the load resistance from the circuit. We should remove RL from the circuit and name it the load resistance. Now, the second step is to distribute the current in the circuit and write the loop equation and find the current we have distributed. Now we should distribute the current in the circuit. We get two loops, loop 1 and loop 2 in the circuit after removing the load resistance. Then we should distribute the current. The current I1 is flowing in the direction of the resistance 2 ohm. Then this I1 is coming here. After that, there we get I2 and I1 minus I2 will go there. After that, the I1 and the same current is flowing in this circuit. After that, the same current is going through there. But here, I2 is coming here and I1 minus I2 is going there. Now, I2 cancel each other and the same current I1 flows across this. And the same current come at our starting point. Now, the current is distributed in the circuit. Now, we should find the loop equation using Kirchhoff's law. For finding the loop equation, for loop equation 1, we should find that the current I1 is flowing in the same direction of the resistance 2 ohm. Then we get the minus 2 I1. Same current I2 is flowing with same resistance direction, that is 4. Then we get minus 4 times I2. Then the current is flowing here. After that, minus negative to positive. Then we get plus 20 is equal to equate it from 0. Now that is, we divide it by minus 2. Then we get I1 plus 2 times I2 is equal to 10 as our equation 1. We name it equation number 1. Now for loop equation 2, we get it. We will take the current I1 minus I2 is flowing in the direction of the resistance 4. Then we write it. Then we write the equation as minus 4 I1 minus I2. Then the same current is flowing in the direction of the resistor 2 ohm. Then we write minus times of 2 I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2 is going there. Then positive to negative. Then we use the sign of negative as minus 8. And the same current is flowing here, that is current and resistor in an opposite direction. Then we use a sign of positive, plus 4 I2 is equal to 0. Now we will solve it. Minus 4I1 minus minus plus 4I2 minus 2I1 minus minus plus 2I2 minus 8 plus 4I2 is equal to 0. After solving this, we get minus 6I1 plus 10I2 is equal to 8. After we equate it, that is our result is equal to minus 3I1 plus 5I2 is equal to 4. We name it as equation number 2. After solving the two equation, we get I1 is equal to 42 by 11 ampere and I2 is equal to 34 by 11 ampere. Now the third step is to find VTH. For finding VTH, we should consider some imaginary voltage source, DC source acting between A and B. Then we have to select one loop which contains the given voltage source. For this, we have to select one loop which contained VTH. For selecting the loop, we consider this as a loop which contains VTH. Now we will find the loop equation for this loop. Now we will select the loop as itna, the current flowing from this direction, VTH. Then we write at minus VTH, current flowing through negative to positive, we write plus 4. Then after current and resistor in opposite direction, we use 2 as a positive 2 I1 minus I2, and no current is flowing in this direction, then we should avoid this. After the loop equation, we will try to solve the loop equation, that is 4 plus 2. We put the value of I1 and I2 that we get from the above equation. I1 is equal to 42 by 11 and I2 is equal to 34 by 11. We put it here. Then we solve it. 4 by 2 is equal to 8 by 11 is equal to, we will solve it and we will get the value of VTH as 60 by 11. Now the fourth step is, step number 4 is to find RTH. For finding RTH, we need a passive circuit, which means we should remove the voltage source from the circuit. After removing the voltage source from the circuit, we get a passive circuit. Now we will find RTH from this passive circuit. Now 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 4 ohm. 2 ohm and 4 ohm are in parallel. Then we write R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2, that is R1 is equal to 4 into R2 is equal to 2 is equal to 4 plus 2, then we get it 4 by 3, and then our resistor is our circuit become 4 by 3, and this 4 ohm, this 2 ohm and this 4 ohm. This 4 by 3 and 4 are in series. Then we solve it. 4 by 3 plus 4 is equal to 16 by 3. Then we get this circuit 16 by 3 by 2 ohm, 4 ohm. After that we will solve it. 16 by 3 and 2 are in 16 by 3 and 2 are in parallel. Then we solve it and we get the equation parallel, that is 16 by 11. After getting 16 by 11, we will write our circuit as 16 by 11 and this 4 ohm. These two are in series. We solve it. 16 by 11 plus 4 is equal to 60 by 11. That is 60 by 11 is the value of RTH. We get RTH is 16 by 11. After getting that, we will get Thevenin's equivalent circuit, that is the VTH, RTH and the removed resistance RL. We will put the value of VTH that we get at 60 by 11, the value of RL that is 8 volt and the value of RTH that is 60 by 11. Now for finding the Thevenin's equivalent resistance, the current flowing through in Thevenin's equivalent resistance, we have I is equal to VTH by RTH plus RL. We will put the value of VTH that is 60 by 11, the value of RTH that we got 60 by 11 and the value of RL that is 8. We will solve it and we get 60 by 11 and 148 by 11. After solving it we get 60 by 148, that is 15 by 37 ampere, that is current flowing in the direction I is equal to 15 by 37 in direction of A to B. Our assumption is correct. Our assumption is correct that current flowing from A to B, because we don't get a negative sign, then the current is equal to I is equal to 15 by 37 ampere from direction A to B. In this way, we will find the current in 8 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. Next one is the second part of Thevenin's theorem. Current in 4 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. First step of Thevenin's theorem is to identify the load resistor and remove it from the circuit. We will identify the load resistor, that is 4 ohm. We will identify it. Now we will draw a circuit in which we remove the 4 ohm resistor from the circuit and we name it A, and here 2 ohm, here B. This is battery, resistor, 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 8 volt. We will remove it from the circuit, that is 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 4 volt. Now the second step of Thevenin's theorem is to distribute the current and find the loop equation. Now we have to distribute the current in the circuit. Now we take the current I. Here it's flow from here, there is no line, no circuit. The same amount of current is flow here. I, same current. I, no current, no circuit fill up, incomplete circuit. Current move here, I, and the same amount of current is coming here at our starting point. It means that our current distribution is correct. Now we have to write the loop equation. We will say we will only get a one single loop and name it I. Now for loop equation 1, we see that the current and the resistor are in same direction, then we write minus of 2I, positive to negative, then we use the sign of negative. 8, same current flowing here and the same resistor direction, that is minus 2 times I, same here, minus 2 times I. Circuit is incomplete, the same amount of current flow here, current direction and resistor in the same direction, then we use minus 2I. From here negative to positive, it means we use the positive sign. Plus 4 equal to 0. We equate it from 0. After solving that we get it minus 8I minus 4 is equal to 0. That is minus 8I is equal to 4. It means that I is equal to minus 4 by 8. That is I is equal to 1 by 2 minus of 1 by 2. It means I is equal to minus 1 by 2 ampere. Now step 3 is to find VTH, that means Thevenin's voltage. For finding VTH, we have assumed an imaginary voltage across A and B. That is, we have to assume that there is an imaginary voltage, that is VTH across A and B. Now we have considered any loop. We considered this loop, otherwise we have considered this loop. We have considered any loop with contain VTH. Now in this question we contain this loop which have VTH value. Now we should find loop equation, that is the same I charge minus 2I, positive to negative, it means minus VTH, same amount of current I and current and resistor in the same direction, minus 2I, negative to positive, it means plus 4V is equal to 0. Now we will solve it. Minus 4I minus VTH plus 4 is equal to 0. Now VTH is equal to minus 4I plus 4. Now we will put value of I that we get from the first loop equation, that is VTH is equal to minus 4 minus times of half plus 4, that is 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 volt. We get VTH is equal to 6 volt. Now step 4 is to find RTH, that is Thevenin's resistance. For finding RTH, we should take a passive circuit. It means we should remove the voltage source from the circuit. That is, we should remove this voltage source from the circuit and make it a passive circuit. After making a passive circuit, we saw that is these 2 and these 2 ohm are connected in series, that is series 2 plus 2, that we get 4. And these 2 and these 2 are connected in series, that as series 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. We get 4 ohm and 4 ohm, as then our circuit became 4 ohm A, this B, and here 4 ohm. Now these 4 and these 4 are in parallel. Now we should collect that parallel. It means R1 into R2, R1 plus R2. It means that 4 into 4, 4 plus 4, that is 4 4 16, 4 4 8, we get 2. It means that RTH is equal to 2 ohm. Now the last step, that is step number 5, we will find Thevenin's equivalent resistor. That is, this is the value of VTH, this is RTH, and this is A, and this is RL. Now we should put the value of VTH that we get, that is VTH is equal to 6 volt, RTH is equal to 2 ohm, and RL, that is our load resistor, is equal to 4 ohm. Now we should know the current flowing from A to V, that is I, is equal to VTH RTH plus RL. That is, we put the value of VTH, RTH and RL in the equation, that is VTH is equal to 6, RTH is equal to 2 and RL is equal to 4, that is 6 by 6, that is I. I is equal to 1 ampere. It means that 1 ampere of current is flowing through the resistor 4 ohm. Next one is maximum power transfer theorem. In this theorem, we will see about the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Maximum power transfer theorem. This theorem is particularly useful for analyzing communication circuit where the goal is to transfer of maximum power from the source to the load and not highest efficiency. This theorem can be stated as when a load resistance is being connected to a DC network which receives maximum power, when this load resistance becomes equal to the internal resistance, that is Thevenin's equivalent resistance of the source network as seen from the load terminal. Condition for maximum power transfer, we will make a Thevenin's equivalent resistance, that is VTH, RTH, current I is flowing from point A and B, and the load resistance RL. From the figure, we obtain that I is equal to VTH by RTH plus RL. This power dispatched in the load is, that is power P is equal to I square dot RL. We will put the value of I that we obtained from the Thevenin's equivalent resistance, that is VTH by RTH plus RL whole square dot RL. We name it equation number 1. To find the maximum power transfer, we differentiate P in above equation with respect to RL and set the result equal to 0. Now we will differentiate P with respect to RL is equal to, we get VTH square RTH plus RL whole square plus D differentiation by RL dot RL minus RL dot D by DRL RTH plus RL whole square divided by RTH plus RL the power 4. We get that VTH square RTH plus RL whole square minus 2RL RTH plus RL divided by RTH plus RL the power 4. We get that VTH square is equal to VTH square RTH square plus RL square minus 2RL and RTH plus RL the power 4. We equate the result from 0. We equate it from 0, then we get that RTH square plus RL square minus 2RL square is equal to 0, and the result RTH square plus RL the power 4 is equal to 0. We get that RTH plus RL and RTH minus RL is equal to 0. That is RTH is equal to RL is equal to 0. It means that RTH is equal to RL. It means that the load resistance is equal to the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. This shows that the maximum power transfer take place when the load resistance RL is equal to the Thevenin's resistance RTH. Now we will put in equation 1, that is VTH RTH plus RL whole square dot RL. The maximum power become P maximum is equal to VTH plus RTH, and put the value of RL is equal to RTH dot RTH. We get VTH square by 4 RTH square dot RTH. That is P maximum is equal to V square TH by 4 RTH, that is VTH by 2 RTH whole square. It shows that the overall efficiency of a circuit supply maximum power is 50. Now the next is Norton's theorem. Explain you about Norton theorem by taking a question that will help you to understand about the theorem. The question is, find the current in 8 ohm resistor. The first step of the Norton theorem is same as the Thevenin's theorem. We should remove the load resistor from the circuit, that is 8 ohm. But in this we take an imaginary current IN flow through A and B. We name it IN, its flow through A and B. Now the second step of the Norton theorem is to distribute the current and find the loop equation. Now we have to distribute the current. We take current I1 flowing here. There is two way. Now I2 go there and I1 minus I2 is flowing there. Now same I1 minus I2 come here. After that I1 minus I2 minus 3 I3 come there and I3 go there. Same I3 flow here. The same I3 come here. I3 here. I1 minus I2 minus I3. I3 go up and I1 minus I2 go there. I1 minus I2, same current I1 minus I2 come here. Here now I1 minus I2 come here. Here now I2 is coming down and I1 minus I2 is come here. Now I2 go up and I current flows there. Now we see that the same amount I1 current, now the same current I1 is flowing here and we get that I1 here. It means at the starting point we get I1. It means that our current distribution is correct. Now we find the loop equation. For finding loop equation, we will see that the current and the resistor are flowing in the same direction. Then we use the negative sign, that is minus 2I1. Now here current and resistor are in same direction. Current I2 and resistor 4 ohm minus 4I2. Now the same current now here negative to positive. Then we use the positive sign, that is 20 volt. We equate it from 0. After solving that, we get that after divided by minus 2, we get that I1 minus 2I2 plus tan is equal to 0, that is I1 minus 2I2 plus tan is equal to 0. We get equation number 1. Now for loop second. In loop second, we will see that the current I1 minus I2 is flowing through 4 ohm resistor. Then we use a negative sign, that is minus 4 I1 minus I2. Same the current is flowing here, that is I1 minus I2 minus I3 in 2 ohm. Then we use the negative sign, minus 2 times I1 minus I2 minus I3. Now here from positive to negative, then we use the sign of negative, that is minus of 8. Now here current and resistor are in opposite direction, then we use the sign of plus, that is plus 4I2. Now equate it from 0. After solving that, we get that minus 4I1 minus plus 4I2 minus 2I1 minus plus 2I2 minus plus 2I3 minus 8 plus 4I2 is equal to 0. Now after solving it, we get that minus 4I1 minus 2I1 plus 2I2 plus 2I3 is equal to 8. After further solving that, we get 6I1 plus 2I2 plus 2I3 is equal to 0. After we solve the equation, we get that minus 3I1 plus 5I2 plus I3 is equal to 4. Now for loop 3, we will see that the current I3 is flowing in the direction of 4 ohm. Then we write minus of 4 I3. Then the same current is flowing here, that is I3, no battery, no resistor. Then we leave it. After from negative to positive, we use the sign of positive, plus 4. After that current and resistor in an opposite direction, then we use the sign of plus 2 I1 minus I2 minus I3. I1 minus I2 minus I3. We equate it from 0. After we solve it, we get that minus 4I3 plus 4 plus 2I1 plus minus 2I2 plus minus 2I3 equated from 0. Now further solving that, we get minus of 4I3 minus 2I3 plus 2I1 minus 2I2 plus 4 is equal to 0. Now minus 6I3 plus 2I1 minus 2I2 plus 4 is equal to 0. After that, we get minus of 3I3 minus of I1 minus of I2 is equal to minus 2. That is I1 minus I2 minus 3I3 is equal to minus of 2. We name it equation number 3. Then we, after solving equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3, we get the value of I3 as 1 ampere. And we know that here I3 is equal to IN. Now, and the direction of current is flowing in the direction of from A to B. Now we name it IN is equal to 1 ampere from direction A to B. Now the third step of the Norton theorem is for finding Rn. The third step is to make the circuit passive. It means that we should remove the voltage source from the circuit, that we should remove the battery from the circuit. Now when we remove it from the circuit, we get a passive circuit. Now after getting the passive circuit, we try to solve it. For solving it, we see that 2 and 4 are connected in parallel. Now we write it parallel. 4 plus 4 into 2, 8, and 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 is equal to 4 by 3. Then the circuit become like this, that is this and this in become parallel. We get the result 4 by 3, 4 by 3, these 4 ohm, these 4 ohm, these 4, these 4 and these 2 ohm. Let's rewrite it like this. Now we see that these 4 and this 4 by 3 is connected in series. Then we try to solve it. After solving it, we get the result 16 by 3. Now our circuit is become like this: 16 by 3, 2 ohm and 4 ohm. After solving these two, we get that these 16 by 3 and these 2 are connected in parallel. Then we solve it. 16 by 3 into 2, 16 by 3 plus 2 is equal to 32 by 3 and 22 by 3. After we further solve it, we get that 16 by 11 as our result. Then our circuit is become like this: 16 by 11 and these 4 ohm. After we solve it, 16 by 11 and 4, we see that these are connected in series. Then we solve it and we get 60 by 11 as our Rn. Now we have IN is equal to 1 ampere, RL our road resistance is 8 ohm, and Rn we get that 60 by 11. The fourth and the final step of the Norton theorem is make a Norton equivalent circuit. We make a Norton equivalent circuit in which we write it IN, Rn and RL. RL is our load resistance, Rn which we are find here 60 by 11, and IN is the value we take it from here. Now we put the value in the circuit. IN is equal to 1, RL is equal to 8 and Rn is equal to 60 by 11. Now for finding the current I from direction of A to B, we have a equation, that is I is equal to current is equal to IN Rn plus RL. Now we put the value of this in the equation and we get that IN is equal to 1, Rn is equal to 60 by 11, Rn is equal to 60 by 11 and RL is equal to 8. Now we solve it. I is equal to 1, 60 by 11, 60 plus 88 by 11. We get that 60 by 11 by 148 by 11 is equal to 15 by 37 as our I. Our I is 50 by 37 ampere. The current is flowing from the direction of A to B. In this way, we will. Now the next is superposition theorem. Superposition theorem. Now let's have a look what is the purpose of superposition principle. Is applied only to the circuit in which there are two or more voltage or power source. Let's take a question, try to understand about this theorem. We will take the same question that we taken in Thevenin's theorem and Norton theorem. Now let's have a look. The first step of the superposition theorem is that only one power source acting at one time. It means when we take the question, we will take that only one power source, either it is 20 volt, either 8 volt or 4 volt, only one power source act. Now let make a circuit in which we will take image, we will imagine that only 20 volt source act alone. Now we make a circuit in which only 20 volt act. 20 volt, 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 4 ohm, there 8 volt. We will avoid it because we imagine that only 20 volt is acting. Now the same circuit, here we remove the 4 volt. Now the second step of the Thevenin's theorem is we should distribute the current and find the loop equation. Now we will distribute the current. We take current I1 is flowing here. There is two way. I2 is going down and I1 minus I2 is going here. Now there I1 minus I2 and I3 is going here and I1 minus I2 minus I3 is going down. Now here I3 is coming here, I3, there I3 go up and I1 minus I2 is going here. Now I2 go up and I1 is going here. Here I1, at starting point we get I1. It means that our current distribution is correct because we get the equal amount of current at our starting point. Now we will write the loop equation. How many loop we get from it? We get 3 loop. Loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. Now we will find the loop equation. For loop 1, we will take that the current I1 and the resistor 2 ohm are in same direction. Then we take the negative sign, minus 2 of I1. Now here I2 is going down and resistor 4 ohm is going down. Both are in same direction. Then we write minus 4I2. Now here no circuit, no resistance. Then here negative to positive. It means we use the positive sign. Then we write 20 volt equated from 0. Now after solving it, we get that we divide it by minus 2. Now dividing it by minus 2, we get I1 plus 2I2 is equal to 10. We get our first equation and name it equation number 1. Now for loop 2, we will find the loop equation. For loop 2, we write here 4. Current and resistor are in same direction. We use the negative sign, negative 4 of I1 minus I2. Negative 4 of I1 minus I2. Now same direction, current and resistor I1 minus I2 minus 3. Negative of 2 I1 minus I2 minus I3. Now here 4. current and resistor are in opposite direction, then we use the positive sign, that is plus 4i2. We equate it from 0. After solving that, we get minus 4i1 minus plus 4i2 minus 2i1 minus plus 2i2 minus plus 2i3 plus 4i2 equated from 0. After that we solve it. Minus 4i1 minus 2i1 we get minus of 6i1 plus 4i2 plus 2i2 we get plus 10i2, then plus 2i3 is equal to 0. Now after solving that, we get minus 3i1 plus 5i2 plus i3 is equal to 0. We get our second equation, equation number 2. Now for loop, we will see the equation. Here 4 ohm resistor and I3 current, both are in same direction. We use the negative sign, negative 4i3. Then after minus 8i3, then after current and resistor are in opposite direction, then we use plus 2i1 minus i2 minus i3. We write it minus 4i3 minus 8i3 plus 2i1 minus i2 minus i3. We equate it from 0. After that we solve it. We get minus 4i3 minus 8i3 plus 2i1 plus minus 2i2 plus minus 2i3 equated from 0. We solve it. We get minus 12i3 minus 2i3 plus 2i1 minus 2i2. After solving that further, we get that minus 7i3 plus i1 minus i2 is equal to 0. It means that i1 minus i2 minus 7i3 is equal to 0. We get our third equation, equation number 3. Now, after solving equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3, we get the value of I3 as 10 by 37 ampere and I3 is here and current flowing through A to B in direction. We imagine next step is we will now imagine that only 8 volt source act alone. It means that in first step we will see that only 20 volt is acting. Now we see that only 8 volt is acting and we avoid 20 volt and 4 volt and make a circuit. We make a circuit in which there is no 20 volt, no 4 volt, only 8 volt. Now same we distribute the current and find the loop equation. We distribute the current in the same way. We get 3 loop, 1, 2 and 3. We distribute the current. Now we'll write the loop equation. Here, making the equation easy, we start the distribution of current from 8 volt. Now I1 current is flowing here. Then here I2 is going and upper I1 minus I2. I2 is going there. I2 here. I1 minus I2. Then I1 is go here. I1 here. I1 minus I3. I1 minus I3. Here I1 minus I3. I3 is coming down, I3 is going up, and here we get as I1 in our negative terminal. It means that our current distribution is correct because we get the same amount of current. Now we write the loop equation. For loop 1, we take it for loop 1. Now the distribution from plus 2. Here minus I1 minus I3 is going here and the resistor direction is here. It means the current and resistor direction is opposite. Then we use the positive sign plus 2 I1 minus I3. Now here the current is flowing here and resistor are in same direction. I3 and resistor 4 in same direction. We use the negative sign minus 4I3. Now there is no resistor. Then our first loop equation is completed. We equate it from 0. We solve it plus 2I1 plus minus 2I3 minus 4I3 equated from 0 to I1 minus 6I3 is equal to 0. I1 is equal to 3I3. We name it equation number 1. Now for loop 2. For loop 3, we write the equation 4I2 plus 8I2 minus 2I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. After solving that, we get that 4I2 plus 8I2 minus 2I1 minus plus 2I2 is equal to 0. 4I2 and 8I2 is equal to 12I2 minus 21 plus 2I2 is equal to 0. 12I2 plus 2I2 14I2 minus 2I1 is equal to 0. 7I2 and I1 we divided from 2 is equal to 0. 7I2 is equal to I1. It means I1 is equal to 7I2. We get the third equation, equation number 1. After solving I1, I2 and I3, we are interested in the value of I2 because from the 8 ohm resistor from A to B we have current distribution I2. That's why we are interested in finding the value of I2. After solving I1, I2 and I3 we get I2 as a 6 by 37 ampere and the current distribution is from B to A. Our assumption is correct because we get a positive sign from B to A, the current distributed. Now the next step, we use the 4 volt resistor. It means we avoid 20 volt and now we distribute the current. I1 here, I2 is going up and I1 minus I2 is here. I3 is going up and I1 minus I2 minus I3 is going here. Same current I1 minus I2 minus I3 is going here. I3 come down and I1 minus I2 is coming here. I2 come down and I1 is going there. Same here, A to B, I1 is coming down. We get same current at our starting point. It means our current distribution is correct. Now we write the loop equation. For loop 1, we start writing loop equation. Current and resistor are in same direction, that is minus 2 I1 minus I2 minus I3. Here plus current and resistor are in opposite direction, we get plus 4 I3. Plus 4 I3 equated from 0, we solve it. Minus 2 I1 plus 2 I2 plus 2 I3 plus 4 I3 is equal to 0. Minus 2 I1 plus 2 I2 plus 6 I3 is equal to 0. We get I1 plus I2 plus 3 I3 is equal to 0. Our equation 1 is coming. Now for equation 2. Equation 2, current and resistor are in same direction, minus 4 I1 minus I2. Here current and resistor are in opposite direction, plus 2 I2. Here current and resistor are in same direction, we use minus 4 I3. 4 I1 minus I2 plus 2 I2 minus 4 I3 is equal to 0. We solve it. Minus 4 I1 minus plus 4 I2 plus 2 I2 minus 4 I3 is equal to 0. Minus 4 I1 plus 6 I2 minus 4 I3 is equal to 0. After solving it, we divide it from 2. We get that minus 2 I1 plus 3 I2 minus 2 I3 is equal to 0. Equation number 2. Now for loop equation 3, we see that current and resistor are in same direction, minus 4 I1. Here current and resistor same direction, minus 8 I1. Here negative to positive, it means plus 4. Current and resistor are in same direction, minus 2 I2. Minus 4 I1 minus 8 I1 plus 4 minus 2 I2 is equal to 0. We solve it, we get 12 I1 plus 4 minus 2 I2 is equal to 0. After solving that, 6 I1 minus I2 is equal to minus 2. Equation number 3. Now after solving equation I1, I2 and I3, we are interested in finding the value of I1 because I1 current is flowing from A to B and direction of flowing current is A to B. We are interested in I1 value. Then after further solving, we get I1 is equal to 11 by 37 ampere and current flow from A to B. Now due to 20 volt source, we get 10 by 37 ampere and direction of current is A to B. Due to 8 volt battery source, we get 6 by 37 ampere and current flow from B to A. Due to 4 volt source, we get 11 by 37 ampere and current flow from A to B. Now the last step of the superposition theorem, we will see that in 20 volt source and 4 volt source, the current is flowing from A to B and A to B. But in 8 volt source, the direction of current is B to A. For making it A to B, we use it. We get B to A 6 by 37. For making is A to B, we use the negative sign. We make minus 6 by 37. Then 10 by 37 from 20 volt and minus 6 by 37 from 8 volt and 11 by 37 from 4 volt. We add it together. After adding it, 37 and 10 minus 6 plus 11, we get 4 plus 11 by 37 is equal to 15 by 37 ampere. This is our current 15 by 37 in 8 ohm resistor. That's all. The last topic is ideal and practical current source and voltage source. Their source and type. Electrical source. Electrical source are divided into two categories, voltage source and current source. Voltage source are subdivided into two categories, that are ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. And current source are subdivided into two categories, ideal current source and practical current source. Now what is voltage source? A voltage source such as a battery or generator provides a potential difference, that is voltage, between 2 points within an electrical circuit, allowing current to flowing around. Now we take ideal and practical. In ideal, we take a voltage source Vs and a load. We will see that minus Vs plus V is equal to 0, that is voltage is equal to voltage source. In this load quantity independent of a load current. We will plot a graph according to this. We will see that the load quantity independent of load current. Now we will see about practical voltage source. Now we will see about practical voltage source. In practical voltage source, we will take a voltage source Vs, a resistance Rs and a volt V. Current I is flowing in through. We will see that minus of Vs plus Irs plus V is equal to 0. Now V is equal to Vs minus Rs. In this, load quantity is a function of load current. We will plot a graph according to our observation. We will see that the load quantity is a function of load current. This is practical graph, this is for practical and this is for ideal. Now from this discussion, we obtain two important main points, that is internal resistance is 0 in ideal voltage and the internal resistance of a practical voltage source is less. Now about current sources. A current source is an electric circuit that delivers or absorbs an electric current. A current source is the dual of voltage source. Ideal current source and practical current source. Ideal current source, we take Is and a load and a current I. We will see that I is equal to Is for all voltage. Load current is independent of load quantity. We will see the graph. After that, about practical current source, we see that I, Rs, I and V, where Is is equal to IR plus I, that is the practical current source is equal to V by Rs plus I. It means that I is equal to Is minus VRS. We will see the graph that the load current is a function of load quantity. For the practical current source and for the ideal current source, the most important 2 points that come out from this, that internal resistance of an ideal current source is infinity and internal resistance of a practical current source is more. Thank you.